There's a lot of wide-body vans out on the market there, and they'll all cost around the same. But if you can find an Xplorer, I mean, just go online and read the reviews, and there's community forums for these things out there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They're top-notch quality.
Try to forget it any way I can. Keep on rocking in the free world.
In a van down by the river.
Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world.
There's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to all the different classes of RVs, but after living in all the different ones and then doing my shopping and looking around and all that, I came down with this as the best decision for my needs. And I didn't have to spend this much money. Don't let the price of these things scare you away, because you don't need to get one this new, this modern. You can still get a really good one from the 80s and 90s. A lot of them are, again, the only people that can afford these new are usually retirees. People put their life savings into them. But what happens is most people don't drive them all the time. They take them out on trips 1 week, 2 weeks a year, if that. So when they sell them off, either for estate sales, you know, unfortunately that happens, or they upgrade or what have you, you save a lot of money on the depreciation of the vehicle. They do hold, the Class Bs do hold their value quite well, but I mean, 20 or 30 grand for something like this as opposed to the new cost, which is like 120 grand. Maybe 140 grand with some models nowadays, you know? There's a big difference, but quite often they're barely broken in. The mileage on this is like, you know, 65, 70,000 miles. So it's in perfect condition. I've bought RVs before. The Class C I bought, the 79 Frontier, 79, okay? It had 26,000 kilometers on the odometer. That's it. The toilet was never used. The water tank was never filled up. I mean, I cleaned it all out, bleached it all before I used it because it's been sitting for over 20 years. It was never used. The stove was never used. This propane system was never used. It was unfreaking believable. So I picked that thing up for like $6,000 or $7,000, and I basically got a brand new RV. So, you know, it's not like a car. When you buy a car that's 10, 15 years old, you got to worry about mileage and wear and tear and all that. With RVs, 10 or 15 years old quite often means it's brand new. But you're saving a lot of money off the new cost. I mean, it'd be stupid to buy a new RV. Plus, I really have no interest in the new Sprinter vans and the new Fiat Dodge vans. And I like the American vans for lots of reasons, but that's a whole nother video. So, there's the reasons why I ended up buying this. Why did I go for the Xplorer? Xplorer pretty much invented the Class Bs. They started, a lot of people claim they started the whole motorhome industry basically back in the 60s. At least the modern motorhome industry, Class Bs and whatnot. There's been lots of spin-offs that have come into play since the Xplorer mini motorhomes, which are the 21-foot Class Bs that they started producing way back in the 60s. A lot of the popular spin-offs such as Road Trek and Leisure Travel Vans and Pleasureway, you name it. But Road Trek was Xplorer is a little unique in that, like I explained in my motorhome tours, that the van is actually wider than a regular van, and it tapers out like an egg shape from the front to the back and then back around the back with a fiberglass cap. They basically cut the van down the middle and widened it out the sides. It actually looks kind of funny on my mirror sometimes because it looks like I'm driving crooked, or it looks like I'm parked crooked from the curb. But I'm actually not. It's just that the van body goes out on an angle on the sides. So it gets a little bit, interesting driving. Sometimes it takes a bit of getting used to, for sure. There are some other wide body Class Bs out there from this era, such as the Leisure Travel Vans and the Pleasureway wide body vans. They're very popular, and even Road Trek has their 210 populars too, which is pretty much the same size as this. But this one comes out, like I said, tapered, so it's unique, it's cool. I think it looks really nice. People don't know it's a wide body until you get up close and you kind of look at the sides. It's also longer than all the other extended wide body vans out there. It's 21 feet long instead of 19 feet long, and that extra 2 feet, I really appreciate that. I can still park it in mall parking lot spots and most meters and whatnot, but it's about as far as you can go without any real troubles with parking and driving around in the city. And also because they adapted the rear axle for dual wheels, and boy, that makes a difference. Driving my Class A's and Class C's, I always loved having the dual wheels. You know, you could leave your coffee cup full of coffee on the dashboard and take a corner and it doesn't spill. It makes a big difference with stability. And these Dodge Ram vans weren't exactly great for stability with the single wheels, even before they had conversions built onto them. Just the regular cargo vans had stability problems. The rear wheels on Ram vans are actually in a couple of inches from the front axle. So, you know, they use the pickup truck axle for the vans, and they didn't widen out the wheels aren't the same width, the front and the back. So a lot of people put spacers on the back wheels to bring them out a couple of inches, so at least it would be the same track as the front, and it helped with stability. And those that had enough money would actually convert them into dual wheels. I've seen quite a few custom jobs out there. But Xplorer actually did that to these right from the factory. So because it's a wide body, I couldn't imagine driving this without the dual wheels. And some of those pleasure ways and leisure travel vans, they really look kind of like they're going to be a little bit hard to drive on the highways when semis fly by you. And the stability, boy, I've heard a lot of horror stories about those. So they produced these all the way up until 2003. When Dodge discontinued making the Ram vans, was basically the end of the Xplorer vans. There's been a lot of other changes to that company since. They don't really do much anymore these days, but if you can find one with low miles, you can't go wrong. Xplorer owners tend to stick with Xplorer. Even if they get another vehicle, they end up getting another Explorer. So, highly recommend if you're in the market for a Class B and you want to go on even Explorers from the 80s, 90s, 70s, 60s. Boy, there's a lot of nice ones out there. So if you want a Class B, you can't go wrong. Anyways, I'm at work. I'm actually late to go into work now because I'm rambling off to you guys. So I have to go, but I'll check in with you tomorrow. Rest in peace, Chris Farley.